Hey guys, let's talk about velocity and acceleration for a couple of examples here. So those of you who did physics 20, I guess even as far back as science 10, um, velocity is meters per second and acceleration is meters per second squared. If you go back into doing derivatives, then what you can see is your original function displacement, which would be meters or kilometers, centimeters. If you take one derivative of displacement, you get velocity. If you take the second derivative of displacement, you get acceleration. So we're going to use that knowledge to kind of help us solve some problems. And we're going to talk about things being on a horizontal grid. I mean, a lot of times we can maybe understand vertical better because we can relate to things being thrown up in the air, coming back in the air, but our textbook problems relate to horizontal. So that's what we're going to talk about. To know if you're moving away or towards something, you kind of need to know two things. You need to know the answer to. So, in other words, what I'm saying is if you read the problem, C is asking us to know if we're moving away or towards the origin. And in order to know that, you need to know where you're at and then what direction you're moving in at that time as well. So, A is about knowing where you're at. So, displacement is just S of t. So, 4 seconds in, you're 1 centimeter from the origin. So you are, and it's a positive number, so you're one from the origin. And if you have a negative velocity, you're moving towards origin. If you have a positive velocity, you're moving away from the origin. So A is telling us where you're at. B is finding a velocity. So S of t, S prime of t is velocity. So negative 2t squared is negative 4t, 8t is 8, and derivative of 1 is 0. So that's my velocity function. Any time this object is moving, this will tell me how fast it's moving. So S of 4 is negative 8 centimeters per second, or it's 8 centimeters per second to the left. So if I grab my nice little diagram kind of down here, I am at 4 seconds. I am at 1, and I recognize that I am actually going to be moving. My object is moving to the left. So I am right of the origin and moving left, so I'm moving towards your origin. So if you ever have to tell somebody if you're moving away or towards something, make sure you know where they are first of all, and then make sure you know the direction that they're moving in, and then figure out if they're moving away or towards.